So a lot of people will try to stop feeling joyful because they don't want the experience of it ending.
Oh.
Instead, I encourage you to be open to joy and to know that it will be fleeting, but I really want you to notice where you feel it in your body.
Yes.
So just in your day, go around, and when you notice joy, just make a little note.
Yes.
And you can make it in your phone, just a little. Now, I would say 99% of the time when people come back and I say, how did your joy experiment go? And they read out to me what joy has been. 99% of the time, it has involved nothing to do with money.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jodi Richardson, and this is Well, Hello Anxiety. In a world that often moves too fast, we're here to pause, breathe, and understand anxiety together. Each episode will explore practical strategies, share honest conversations, and uncover the science behind anxiety and well-being, all while creating a space where it's okay to not be okay. Let's continue this journey together. Welcome back to part 2 of our conversation. If you haven't listened to part 1, feel free to join us for this second half and then go back to listen. You don't want to miss what Claudette and I spoke about last week. Claudette, thank you for joining me for another conversation.
Oh, absolute privilege. Thank you very much. Great to be here.
One of the things that I wanted to ask you about was advertising and the role that plays when it comes to how we feel about ourselves. Comparison is just something we tend to do quite naturally, and it can create an enormous amount of anxiety.
Yeah.
And we have some control over what we expose ourselves to, not always. What can you tell us about kind of how advertising can contribute to anxiety amid the population?
Yeah, so there's a really interesting recent study. It's a longitudinal study, so it occurred over 30 years.
Gosh, that's
we hardly
rare,
ever get
isn't
those,
it?
of course, because
yes.
30 years is a long time to be in research.
Goodness.
So it was based on 27 countries around Europe, and they found a really clear link that life satisfaction drops when advertising expenditure and exposure to ads increases. So your individual sense of life satisfaction drops the more advertising you're exposed to.
Is that right?
So that's really clear now.
Yes.
Now, I'm always a bit careful about research. I'm always taking a cross-cultural lens. This is 27 countries. It is across Europe, so we're not actually looking at, we haven't included Asian cultures or African culture there. But I'm probably going to stand up because when we remove some of those cultural aspects, 27 countries in Europe are also culturally quite different.
Yes.
We tend to see this stands up.
Right.
So we used to, in the 70s, see about 500 ads a day.
500 ads a day in the 70s.
Even in the 70s. So this is your billboards, this was the newspaper, this was the listening to the radio.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Oh my gosh, I dare and ask the next question, but go on, tell us, what are we exposed to now?
What do you reckon it would be?
Oh my goodness. Well, I know we're just in an age of infobesity and so much intake. Goodness, is it tenfold? Is it like 5,000?
Yeah, you are so good.
Oh.
So it's between 4,000 and 10,000. Depends on your social media usage, obviously.
Okay, yes.
But, really, this is really huge because how can we filter through that kind of input? We just can't.
Gosh.
And so advertising, I kind of pick on advertising in particular as in terms of a multifactorial thing because it is really playing on our belonging and acceptance. So we are really highly influenced by the group and we think we're not. Right?
Yes.
We think, well, I'm just the individual, I'm just doing my thing. It's not true. I just read in the newspaper this weekend, the Age Good Weekend, I think it was, that there's this product called Dubai chocolate. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Oh, yes. It's got the pistachio cream in it. Yes. Oh, my gosh. I really like to try it. Yes.
And so they were not doing so well. They had one influencer who was eating it and, people were really attracted by the sound of it and the crackle that it made.
Yes.
And they got 30,000 orders in one day.
Gosh.
But then this is perpetuated. So it's now, one of the best-selling chocolates that has been for the past year, basically. So we are really highly influenced by advertising.
Yes.
And so let's look at the reverse of that. So if we're highly influenced by what we want, we are also highly influenced by what we don't have. So one of the things that we want to really understand here is that you are actually almost always making decisions based on a relativistic kind of principle.
What does that mean?
So my favorite story for this is a little bit bizarre, but that's me. So remember when there was a global financial crisis a number of years ago, and they had the bankers from JP Morgan, and they put them on trial.
Yes.
And they had one banker who came on, I'm going to call him Tom, and he'd taken out a loan for $20 million to renovate his bathroom. Okay. And when he was on trial, he hadn't paid it back.
Right.
And they were like, you haven't paid this back. How can this be ethical? What's going on here? And he was like, I don't know why you're picking on me. My boss, Bill, over there, he took out a $38 million loan.
Yes.
So it wasn't about these, the numbers that I personally can't conceive of.
Yes. Me
especially
neither.
in relationship to my house. But if you kind of pull that down to $20 and $38,
yes,
it still means the same thing. These people were really moving in an echelon of relativism.
Yes, so relative to the next person.
Relative to the person who they were travelling with and in and around.
They're Joneses, so to speak.
They're the Joneses. So keeping up with the Joneses is a really, really important motivator as a human, because we want to belong. We want to feel like we're accepted.
Yes.
One of my favourite experiments with this is the lift experiment. Have you ever heard of this?
I don't think I have. Oh, I love this.
So when you walk into a lift, the doors open, you walk in, you press your number, you turn around. Everyone faces the doors.
Yes, I think I know what you're going to say. Oh, yes. Yes.
And so when we run experiments where people open the doors, but everyone is turned around, 70% of people on their journey just up a couple of floors will turn around.
Yes.
Because they just don't want to feel like the odd one out.
Yeah.
So we are so highly driven by this needing to feel relatively in with our belonging and acceptance. It's number one in our drivers, really. That's why people join gangs.
Yes.
But it's also why people follow particular influencers and want to be a part of that and want to keep up with everything that they're posting. So advertising as a single factor kind of really hinges on this.
Yes.
So it is perpetually trying to make you feel like you don't belong.
Yes.
There's something you don't have enough of. There's something you should have more of. There's something that you should aspire to be. So even if you're in your group and you're doing okay, couldn't you aspire to do something a little more or have something a little extra?
Peter and I had this exact conversation last night because we have a modest home. We love where we live, but we have one bathroom with one toilet in the bathroom and 2 teenagers, right? There's 4 of us, and sometimes the dog wants to come in as well. And he was saying, we've been getting quotes for an extra bathroom. I mean, they're astronomical.
Oh, because it's just so hard to get a builder now.
Yeah. Like I'm talking over $120,000 for a 1-room addition. And it is just unjustifiable, let alone unaffordable.
Yes.
And he was saying, maybe, we're just talking about what are we going to do. And I said to him, and from all my studies in the science of happiness, I know that, yes, it'll be more convenient, but ultimately we're a very happy, content, loving family. Ultimately, it's not worth it for the improvement, I'm using, rabbit's ears, in our lives for investing all that money or borrowing, essentially. And I said, I just know it's not really going to make us any happier in the long run. I don't think it's worth stretching ourselves. How does the idea of this aspirational longing for more versus this ideal lifestyle and being more comfortable with what we've got? Tell us more about that.
Look, I'm not surprised that feels like something for you. Because if you're receiving 4 to 10,000 ads a day, how are you supposed to overcome that, right?
Yes.
So we have to be really conscious. We have to be conscious of things that we know that these images are curated. Like we all kind of know that, but there's a real difference between that no-do gap, right? I know this, but does it change what I do?
Yes.
Does it change the fact that I'm comparing and despairing to that, amazing car or hot man that she's with or house or whatever else it might be?
Yeah.
So we really have to bring a little consciousness to the fact that all of those content that we're kind of bombarded with is curated. And we don't want to start curating ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? That
Yes.
won't lead to belonging. That will lead to anxiety.
Yes.
We start to curate how we look, how people see our house, how people see our car, how people perceive us as being, that we are posting, snaps from holidays in various places that we've, spent 2 hours curating.
Yes.
That doesn't actually make anyone feel good. We're kind of in this, we really get into this kind of loop of compare and despair. Have you heard of the compare and despair loop?
I have, yes.
Yeah, it's a real thing. And what we know from social media is that the people who are inclined to use social media, when they start to feel despairing, start to post more in order to get validation and get that dopamine rush.
Right.
So rather than you comparing and despairing and thinking, I'm going to get off this, because this is not making me feel good.
Yes.
You go, I'm going to make myself feel better by posting more, engaging more, hopefully getting more likes. And this becomes a real loop that's hard to get out of.
Yes.
I have a technical word for it. I call it stuckness.
Yes. Yes, I like that.
And so you can feel really
Yeah.
stuck. And it's really hard to get out of that if you've decided this is the thing that made me feel good when I first started to look at it. But now it doesn't make me feel good. So we come back to that kind of idea of what's happening in my body.
Yes.
Am I still feeling good? Am I feeling content? Is this feeling enriching? And I noticed something when we were talking about this, Jodi, when you were talking about your house, you did something really interesting, which is, you might not be aware of, what we call the Stoicism's absence or death technique. One of the things you did was you said, we're really happy in this house.
Yes.
We're really content. We've already got a lot of things that we want. We've got our bedrooms. We've got a place that we want to live. We've got a location that we really like.
Yes.
So you started to look at what you already had.
Yeah. Yes.
And so once you start to appreciate what you already have, that's going to actually drive a change in your body.
Yes.
So I encourage people to get off any of those media that they might be on and start to do that technique. What do I already have? Can I want what I already have? Yes,
because a lot of what we have, there are a lot of other people who would dearly love to have.
That's absolutely
in
true.
their lives as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. You mentioned that. I did have a little bit of a look up of something, because I thought, the world is getting, thankfully, having less and less poverty, but some things are still really marking us clearly. If you have an air conditioner in your home right now,
yes,
only 8% of the world does.
Is that right?
8%.
Goodness me.
So, if you're driving a car right now,
Yes.
Less than 20% of the world has access to a car.
Gosh.
So we really have a lot to be thankful for. We have a lot to say, I can want what I already have instead of wanting what I don't have.
That's really struck a chord with me, because, as a mother of two children who are in this world, and we'll talk about that in a moment. We'll talk about, raising children in this world,
yes,
and how we can help. But I really, I'm a very grateful person, and I look at my mum is one of 7, my dad's one of 6, and I look at the homes they grew up in, because I visited them as a child, and I think, we've got 4 of us in one bathroom. They had 8 in one bathroom. We are killing it, So that's a comparison,
yes,
but not causing despair. But coming back to what Russ Harris defines as happiness, being a rich and meaningful life. And what you've just talked to us about, this idea of, can I want what I have? Can I have more appreciation for a roof over my head, for a meal on the table, for a device to listen to a podcast on, to have access to information, to have ways of staying in touch and connected with people I care about and when we're not in the same room. And listeners may have heard me say this, but I've said to my children before, we are rich beyond measure. And it's not because of our bank account. We are so privileged, really, in the world. It's just hard to see that and to remember that when you're surrounded by other people who experience the same kind of privilege.
Yeah. And again, you're kind of talking about this idea that Stoics have of looking at absence. So a really simple example. I had the heater on in my car on the way here.
Yes. We're in Melbourne, people.
I'm definitely in Melbourne. Now, I just took that for granted. But if I'd hopped into my car and my heater wasn't working, I would have really noticed I didn't have my heater, right?
Yes.
So we habituate very, very easily and quickly. That's the beautiful thing about humans. We're very adaptable.
Yes.
And one of the features of adaptability is habituation. And so we habituate to what we have, which is why advertising can really lynch onto that kind of aspirational idea. You have this stuff and you think you're happy now, but when you have that over there, then you're going to be even happier.
Just you wait.
Yes, you wait.
Yeah.
And so now aspire, now work hard, now do things that might actually not align with your values in order to get to this thing. But as you say, we know from all of the research that once you get to a certain level of wealth, no extra wealth makes you happier.
Yes.
And some of the things that I suggest for people here are, have you ever heard of the joy experiments?
I have, but remind me, I don't recall the details.
So this is kind of an ACT technique too. And I really encourage clients to do this, fairly shortly after we first met.
Yeah.
Is I want you to notice just in your day as you go about things when you feel joyful.
Oh, this is not something that I've come across before.
Right.
I'm thinking of something else.
I encourage everyone who's listening to do this tomorrow.
Yes, when do you feel joyful? Yes.
When do you feel joyful? Now, joy is an interesting emotion. As Brené Brown will tell you, it's actually a vulnerable emotion. Yeah. So a lot of people will try to stop feeling joyful because they don't want the experience of it ending.
Oh.
Instead, I encourage you to be open to joy and to know that it will be fleeting, but I really want you to notice where you feel it in your body.
Yes.
So just in your day, go around and when you notice joy, just make a little note.
Yes.
And you can make it in your phone, just a little. Now, I would say 99% of the time when people come back and I say, how did your joy experiment go? And they read out to me what joy has been. 99% of the time it has involved nothing to do with money. I actually asked this client for permission to tell this story. She came in yesterday with her joy experiment.
She said yes?
She said yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying yes.
And so she had her niece over to play.
Yeah.
And she sat down with her niece and was watching Bluey.
Oh, yes.
And the joy moment was, yes, she was enjoying watching Bluey, but her niece looked at her and was asking her questions with such, openness and curiosity and delight that my client said she just felt completely filled with joy. Another one that she shared was reading in bed on a rainy morning.
Oh, yes.
Just that joy of being able to be warm and cozy and reading that book. So almost always people are talking about either small moments of eye contact with others or relatedness in some way or creativity in some way. Yes. So I really encourage people to kind of notice those small joyful moments and savor them the same way you'd savor chocolate.
Yes, be mindful, pay attention and enjoy it.
Really be in it.
While it lasts. But also knowing that the joy doesn't last forever.
No.
But neither do the feelings that we don't want to hang around. That if we can be more open to those, they pass too.
That's right. Exactly. In exactly the same way, the transience of feelings, right?
Yes.
And so those joy experiments can be a really good way of really noticing what I have in my life already.
Yes.
This is what is fulfilling. This is what is enriching. It is a complete furphy to think owning something will make you rich. As far as I know, James Packer is one of the most miserable people on the planet and he has one of the biggest yachts. Yeah. So, I think it's really important that we bring ourselves back to our values, what's really important to us, what really matters to us, and that's where we put our time and energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is profound. It really is. It really is, because what we're yearning for and we think is just a purchase away or just an experience away, it's available to us right now.
It's here.
I'm experiencing that with you. I'm loving being with you in the room, and I'm so grateful that you shared that idea with us, because we can all do that.
Yeah.
And there's so much stress. There's so much anxiety. People are burning out. They're overwrought with to-dos and expectations, obligations, and not enough time.
Yeah.
And taking those moments, what does that do for us when we can enjoy a moment of well-being? How does that affect our body? What sort of things can people
we're
notice?
back to that physiology stuff, right? So, when I'm talking about kind of noticing where joy is, for me, I feel joy right down the center of my body and around my heart, and I feel it opening, and it feels warm, kind of like a cup of tea.
Yes.
And that makes me feel expanded to want to do more things that make me feel more connected. So that can become its own cycle as well. Yeah. What does joy feel like for you, Jodi?
Oh, a similar feeling. And whilst you've been talking about this, I'm thinking of the moments that bring me pure joy, and I do feel joyful when I'm being kind, or if I'm saying good morning to someone, if I say something to someone and I can see that it's appreciated, or it's put a smile on their face, or when I'm with, aside from the moments with family and things, but the other thing that comes to mind is when I love dogs. They just create so much joy for me, and I'll stop people to pat their dogs, and I feel it in my body. And I'll tell you a funny little story. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying, but our son's been working really hard, and he's doing a Year 12 subject in Year 11, and he had an assessment come back, and he's aspiring to, obviously get very high grades, and he came back with something in biology, and he's just been so committed, and he got 10 out of 10, and I just had this feeling, kind of like, when you see someone whose hard work is paying off, like I love to see athletes achieving and performing artists achieving when they've worked so hard, and I just felt this sense of probably joy and pride. And after school I said, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so proud of you, and I hope you're feeling really proud. And he said, it's a staged assessment. That was from my title and introduction. So funny.
Well done on that.
But yeah, I do. I feel it, and I experience that same feeling of wanting more of the connection. It's a great feeling. I'm going to share this with my family because I want my children to be doing the same thing.
Yeah, do some joy experiments.
Yes.
Have you heard of collective effervescence?
No.
It just kind of reminded me, just when you were speaking then, I kind of saw effervescence.
Oh. What was that? Was I talking about dogs?
Your son.
Oh, sorry. Oops.
So collective effervescence is, I think that's a translation from a French term. And when you go to the football, or you go to a sporting event, or a gig, or even a play, when everyone's in something all together, have you ever noticed kind of like this really big emotion welling up? Like, I'm a fool for this stuff. I don't actually really follow football so much, but my partner does. But I can start crying at the football.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I've done that. I cried at the Olivia Rodrigo concert. My daughter didn't see me, but I know that feeling.
Yeah, it just comes up, and it's coming out your eyeballs, isn't it? The water's coming out of your eyeballs. Yes. And that collective effervescence tells us something really important. We want to be connected. When we are, it permeates our body. It fills us up. It fills us up so much we can feel the water coming out of our eyes. And that joy is a really important thing for us to really pay attention to. Yes. So in the face of advertising, and I would say, if it's even a segue through to connectivity, constant connectivity, this is what the phone takes away from us too. So, advertising is part of what's coming through on social media or other forms, but the phone is also taking away from our joy. It's taking away from our peace. And so, I think it's just something to, again, be aware of.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's such a good reminder, and something you said earlier, because we both just did a check to make sure our phones are off, and you said be the master, not the slave.
Yes. That's exactly right.
One final question. And I'd love to invite you back, no pressure, but I'd love you to come back and talk to me because, there's so many more questions. But for today, only because I alluded to it before, I know that you've said it takes a village to raise a child, but not everybody has a village. Can you just talk to us about kind of when parents are struggling with those anxieties of not having that support around?
I think the first thing I want to do, Jodi, here is to say, parenting anxiety is real and it's not your fault. If anyone needs to hear that again,
say it again.
Parenting anxiety is real and it's not your fault. It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? It takes a village to raise a child. But what are we really doing? Let's get real. What are we actually doing in our culture? We've got two people stuck in that little nuclear family. Maybe it's not called nuclear for no reason, right?
Yes.
It is hard work.
Yes, it is.
And it is not how we are supposed to do it.
It's not, is it?
It's just not how we're supposed to do it. And we have to get our heads around figuring out how we build our systems so that families can be more supported. I'm really clear on the using of the word families instead of making this a mother's issue.
Yes.
Can this be not yet again another issue for a mother? It drives me a little bit batty when I hear politicians say, we've got more childcare places for mothers. I'm like, are we building them little pods with a massage chair in them? Because I'm down for that. That sounds amazing. But otherwise, we're building childcare places for families.
Yes.
It's enough of a burden on mothering in our culture already.
Yeah, there is.
A really interesting research was done where they asked 14-year-olds around the world who they relied upon for different problems. I've got a problem at school, I've got a problem with a friend, my girlfriend, whatever. And so people listed down who their support people were.
Yes.
On average, in most developing nations, which I'm using in air quotes as well, we had around 10 to 14 people that they could rely on.
Is that right?
How many do you think it was in Australia?
2?
Yeah. Now, who do you think they were?
Women. Mothers?
Mum and?
Grandma. Sister? No.
School teacher, which is why I knew when you were bringing up education why you are really so invested in that. Because there is extra burden on our school teachers to be this other person for so many of our kids.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes, they are. They hear so many beautiful stories of how the school teacher was the one who really was the life-saving person in a person's life.
Yes, was the rock.
Really?
Yeah.
2 in Australia. Mother and a school teacher. And were the school teachers women?
Well, they didn't actually say, but this is probably because that's what the numbers are.
Yes.
And this is why mums are so exhausted. They're doing the roles of 10 people.
Yes.
It's just a lot. And we need to make this families. We need to make this extended family. We need to make the definition of family more broad in order to support parents out there. We look at marriage breakups and we see such an incredible level of breakup when the second child typically goes to school and is in grade.
Is that right? Okay, yeah.
Mostly because parents actually get to kind of raise their heads above and look around a little bit and go, I don't think I like you the same way I did anymore.
Yes.
We've been in the trenches and I just don't know that I can keep doing this with you. So they've been able to keep the kids fed and watered and alive. Good job, great. But they haven't been able to keep their relationship because it's just been something's had to fall off. Yeah. And so I think this is a bigger topic and I would love to come back and talk about that and as well as, of course, talk about tech, which is a topic dear to my heart.
Absolutely.
But I did just want to say that I want families to know, and all first-time mums who come through to me, I just want them to know this feels hard because it's hard.
Because it is. It is very, very hard.
You don't have the supports that you need because you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And lots of times people who are first-time mothers now, their mums might be older and not able to support even if they are nearby.
Yes.
So we want to kind of expand our sense of who can come into our family. You know, lots in converse to what we've been talking about, there are also lots of people for whatever reason who are choosing not to have children or don't have children who want to be part of children's lives.
Yes.
But I often hear people say, oh, you know, I don't want them to see my messy.
Oh.
You know, there's the witching hour and the bathing hour and we're hardly getting ourselves fed. And I'm like, that's when you need people there.
Right.
You know, so people want to be part of children's lives, and to do that, they need to see the messy.
Yes.
And so I really encourage people when those offers are on play, and I hear very, very often clients saying to me, I have offered and offered and offered, and it has not been accepted. So families as well need to kind of be okay with this idea of, people are going to see that we don't have it all together.
Yes.
You know, so again, that kind of cultural thing we were talking about before about having to need to be seen to have it all together all of the time.
Yes.
That's an incredible burden for us.
It is. And people, when I posted a photo once at home and there was all these dishes piling up in the background and I must admit when I took it, because it was a beautiful sunrise.
Yeah, right.
And I took it through the kitchen window and I remember sort of thinking, oh, all the dishes, it's not that aesthetic. And I thought, who cares? It's a beautiful sunrise. And people commented, I love that you've got dishes on your sink. So anyway, oh my goodness, we could talk. Anyway, we will. We absolutely will. Claudette, it has been just such a joy having you here.
Oh, no, it's been an absolute
talking
pleasure
with you.
Yeah, and I've loved talking with you too. These things are so important, and I'm really glad that you're giving them airtime and we're getting some help out for people more broadly.
Me too. Thank you for sharing this time with me on Well, Hello Anxiety. Remember, understanding anxiety is the first step to managing it. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. Take things one moment at a time. Focus on what you can control and know that you are not alone on this journey. If you found value in today's episode, please share it with someone who might need to hear it too. I'm Dr. Jodi Richardson, and I'll meet you right back here next week.